I'm so glad you all could be here tonight. I'm Denise Joswiak, President of the Alliance of International Aromatherapists and co-chair of the AIA Research Academy. And I'd like to welcome you to the AIA Research Academy webinar tonight. The AIA Research Academy is free to everyone because of a generous grant from the Gatfase Foundation. You'll find links to the Research Academy and the Gatfase Foundation in the chat. In tonight's presentation, Dr. Bruce Boynton will discuss the AIA Research Academy Mentoring Program with information for prospective mentees. If you'd like to be mentored, please put your email in the chat and we will contact you. Because of our grant, we are able to offer free mentoring through the end of 2026. So we'd love to have everybody we can jump in before then. And now I'd like to introduce you to Bruce Boynton. He's the AIA North Carolina Representative, a member of the AIA Board of Directors. He's had a distinguished career as a Naval Officer, pediatrician, researcher, editor, and hospital administrator. He is the editor of the Journal of Health and Human Experience and the AIA Research Co-Chair. I'll get the slides started and we will begin.
Great. Thank you, Denise, and thank you all for being here. This is going to be similar to a presentation we gave last month. Oh, it disappeared there for a second. We gave last month that was directed at mentors, although I don't think we made that clear at the time. This is going to be for prospective mentees, and it's going to be a fairly short presentation. We're going to talk a little bit about mentoring and our program, and then we wanted to give you an opportunity to discuss questions or concerns. I'm going to ask Denise to work the slides for me because I spilled soda on my keyboard and my keyboard doesn't work very well. Another reason not to drink soda. All right, let's have the next slide. So we're going to talk about what is mentoring, why become a mentor, why do we need a mentoring program in AIA? How will we set it up? Mentor and mentee responsibilities. And then, most important, how do you get started? How do you apply? Next slide. Well, what is a mentor? To mentor is to advise or train someone, especially a younger colleague, and the primary purpose of having a mentor is to drive personal growth, build skills, knowledge, and understanding. I've been blessed to have a number of mentors in my career, and if I wouldn't have got to where I did. Next slide. So how does the mentoring process work? Well, it's sort of like having a tutor. You work on whatever skill that you want to learn, and because everyone's skill set is different. Some people are good at one thing, some at the other. Everyone's life experience is different, and every study presents different challenges. Next slide. What are the objectives of a mentoring program? Well, you want to build confidence for emerging researchers, learn new skills like writing an abstract or laying out a design for a study, improve critical thinking, and what we eventually want to do is foster a research culture within aromatherapy. Next slide. What are some of the things you can learn from mentors? Well, we talked about a couple of them. Design a study, write an abstract, analyze data, practice giving a platform presentation. My first platform presentation, I my mentor went over about 50 times with a stopwatch. So when I got in behind the podium, it was a piece of cake. How to design a research poster, how to organize an article, and also to provide encouragement, because research skills can be difficult to learn, and also manage your time and effort. Next slide. So why do we need to go into this anyhow? Well, Amanda Lattin, who's now our vice president, said, and it's a very memorable quote for me, anyone can look up how to do something on the internet. There's all sorts of things. You can look up how to do surgery on the internet. What we need is experienced researchers who know how to do research and can show emerging researchers how to do it. That's the key element. And she's absolutely right about that. Next slide. Well, why do we want to make every aromatherapist a researcher? Well, we don't. But participating in research will expand your knowledge base, help you develop analytic and logical reasoning, strengthen your writing and communication skills, provide solutions to real world problems, and as an outcome, it enhances your career opportunities and credibility. Next slide. Okay, these are the elements of our research mentoring program. We want to identify prospective mentors and mentees, match them up so some good work can be done, and we'll have a mentoring workshop, and we want to collect outcome data because Gatafase wants something for their money. Next slide. Okay, we have some already identified some mentors who would like to mentor people. Denise, Carol, Marnie, me, Lori, and there may be some others, but I haven't identified them yet. I'm sure there are others. Next slide. Now, mentoring costs money. If you're in an academic position, that's just part of your job. But if we're asking people outside of work to do mentoring, it will cost some money. Fortunately, this year and next year, the mentoring costs will be paid by the Gatafase grant. During year 2027 and onward, the mentoring costs will be paid by the mentee. So if you're interested in getting a mentor, now's the time to do it. The mentor will be paid when the project is complete. Let me give you some examples that we came up with. Designing a poster. The mentor would be, when the poster is complete, the mentor would be paid $125. Writing an abstract. When that's completed, the mentor would be paid $125. Helping someone give a platform presentation, $125. Designing and carrying through an entire article, $250. So those are the kind of costs that we are willing to pay and from the grant, and would be paid by the mentee in 2027 and onward. Next slide. Okay, matching mentors with mentees. Well, part of it depends on what kind of research you're doing, whether you're doing bench research, experimental, case studies, how much prior experience you have, and the skill set that you need. It takes time to write an abstract. The first, one of my mentors said, just give it a shot. and I wrote an abstract. It was terrible. It was awful. Actually, abstracts are easy to write, but you have to know the style and you have to have experience. Design a study. Well, you don't come out of school knowing all the different kinds of studies and their advantages and pitfalls. And data analysis, that means statistical analysis and things. If you haven't had a lot of statistics, that can be daunting. And the mentor can help you with that. And temperament. Some people are laid back, some are hard chargers, some are detail oriented, some are big picture people. And we also want to match our prospective mentees with the kind of mentor that fits them in temperament. Next slide. So the mentee application. At some point, if you want a mentor, you'll need to you'll have to fill out an application. Some of these documents are not completed yet, but they will be soon. And so what we want to know is, who are you? How do we reach you? What are your goals? What kind of project are you working on? And what kind of skills do you want to develop? And further, an estimated time until completion. How long do you think your project will take? Is this a multi-year project or something you're going to knock out this month or whatever? Next slide. Okay, the documents that we talked about, the mentorship application, which will tell who you are and what you want to be mentored in. The mentorship agreement, which will be signed by both the mentee and the mentor. They agree to work on this. And then the mentor contract, that's only for mentors, and it will, because they're going to be paid money. And so we'll have they'll understand that they have to complete the project before they get paid and how much they'll get paid, et cetera, et cetera. Next slide. Okay. What can you expect out of your mentor? What are their responsibilities? Well, first they have to be available. If they're not available, they're no use to you. They have to be able to communicate well. They have to be honest, kind, and enthusiastic. They need to give positive feedback because emerging researchers are often very hesitant, and they need to know what they need to work on and what they've done well. Obviously, to help mentees develop and achieve their goals, and adapt their mentoring style to meet the mentee's needs. Keep your mentee focused on the goal and make the mentoring experience a win-win endeavor for both of you. Next slide. The mentees also have responsibilities. You got to be on time for meetings. If you can't, call your mentor and reschedule. That's sort of common courtesy. If you don't know, ask. We expect there are a lot of things that you don't know that will be confusing, but that's why the mentor is there to help set you straight. Be ready to try things you haven't done before. That's the whole issue of learning. If you already know it all, you don't need a mentor. And stick with it until you reach your goal. That's very, very important because a lot of people go halfway and then sort of quit. If they just stuck with it, they would have something to be proud of. Next slide. The Gatafase Foundation wants to hear how their money is being spent. So they want to know things like number of case reports, number of scientific studies, number of applications for grants, mentees becoming mentors. And in a way, that's our goal for mentees, that in the future, you will learn enough so you can reach down and help someone else. Next slide. So how do you apply to be a mentor? First, you've got to engage in research. You've got to as it were, put your hand to the plow. For instance, if someone says, well, I'm interested in research, I guess, maybe I need a mentor. That's not a win-win situation, because people who are not really motivated, my experience is they don't finish their projects, and they will think of any number of reasons why they can't do what they need to do. So start dabbling in research. Everyone's got a case study because you had to do that in school. Bring out an interesting case that you worked on and give it a try. Then go to the AIA website and sign up for the Research Academy. Remember, there's something odd about the mechanism of our website. Even though the Research Academy is completely clear, free, you have to first get on the website and then sign up for the Research Academy. Then fill out the mentorship application, which is going to be coming soon. Now, eventually we want to have a mentorship page on the website that will have our pictures and what we're interested, the people who signed up to become mentors, what we're interested in mentoring, and who we'd like, what kind of student we'd like to work with. Fill out the mentorship application. It will be reviewed and a mentor recommendation made. Then it's up to you, the mentee, to contact the mentor and discuss your project and start having meetings and start learning and start producing. And the mentor will only be paid when your project is complete. Next slide. Well, we still got to build the mentorship page on the website, and we need to figure out a way to keep track of our reportable results. And then I'm sure there's things that I've forgotten. Next slide. And I think that's about it. So now we want to open it up to what questions you have about anything. Don't be shy.
Bruce, one question. I'm wondering if would a good project to be a mentee be, for example, how to write an article that can get published about aromatherapy?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
But even better is where you've done not just about aromatherapy, but where you're contributing to the knowledge. You're
Right.
doing something.
Right.
The easiest thing to do, I think, because everyone's got case study material, is to do a case study. Now, in the allopathic medicine realm, case studies are not considered a big deal. However, in traditional Chinese medicine, our knowledge is based on case studies, very, very careful case studies. So I think that is a call for us to each contribute case studies and make them good. Really describe the person, what you did, why you did what you did, how it came out, any problems. That's valuable. And there's some very good case studies in aromatics in action, because they not only describe what they did, how it came out, and things like that, but they review the condition that they're trying to support. What other questions do we have?
I have a question. I'm gonna do a brief explanation. Sorry, my English is not perfect. I used to have a wellness center in Puerto Rico that I worked on it like for 5 years approximately. Doing aromatherapy, therapies. Well, long short, I moved to Massachusetts since 1 year and a half. So I'm starting from scratch. So I'm working now in a foundation that helps people with disabilities. Specifically, people with autism. And I'm so involved and I love my work now. And I would like to research more about how people with autism can benefit more with the aromatherapist, with aromatherapy, and how can I help their parents or guardians how to use it correctly because of their disability, they have different reactions, not just smells. How to deal with them with aromatherapy and how to make it in the right way so they can benefit from it.
I think that's excellent. I worked with a autistic young man who had repeated boils, very painful. And he went repeatedly to his family doctor, who, they give you antibiotics, and then they put bacitracin or mucopuricin up the nose and blah, blah, blah. And so that's the standard medical treatment, but that would work for a month and he'd just get it again. So I tackled that problem. And the way I thought about it is what is the best possible thing for this particular young man? We want something he's going to use every day and he's going to like it.
Yeah.
And so I had to find out what odors he liked, what he liked on his skin, all that stuff. And so I made some shower gel.
Oh.
So I used some Castile soap, but that's drying, and some what's that? The stuff from the yucca plant, the aloe vera.
Oh, I love that.
Aloe vera, and they don't mix, so then you have to put a solubilizer in, and then you have to make it smell like he likes. And then I said, well, what causes boils? Well, it's either staph or strep. So you can go to databases and find individual components that are active against staph or strep or whatever. And then you look in other databases and find what essential oils are rich in those components.
Mm.
And then you want something for anti-inflammation, things like that. And then I got some glycerin, and I kept experimenting using different parts of different amounts of glycerin till it felt really good on your skin. And he used it every night. The boils completely eradicated, and after his shower, he would run into his mother and say, "Feel my skin, it feels so good." So I think you can do a lot for people with autism. So I think that's an excellent pursuit.
Thank you. Thank you.
You bet.
That was my question because I wanted to do that.
Yeah, I think now of autistic people are sent here to teach us.
Yes. Yes, you're right. They are so smart,
Yep,
more than the people think.
yep,
They are so creative too. They have s- some of them have an incredible talent. They are so intelligent. They but everything is in their mind. They cannot talk and act and move like normal, but they have a lot in their minds. Is They are so incredible. I work with them every day, and it's like I have them in my heart because we learn a lot from them.
yes. And they're more honest than we are.
Oh yes, definitely. They can say everything
Right,
and doesn't matter.
right.
They don't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
Any
so
other-
much.
You're certainly welcome. Any other questions?
Yes. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. If the long-term goal is to become a mentor, what path would we need to take as a mentee to do that? Like, you mentioned different things we would need to learn as a mentee, or I guess I don't remember, I'm sorry, everything.
That's
Um,
okay.
but what would you say would be is there a certain order we would need to learn before we apply to be a mentor? Because that would be my end goal. I really want to teach others or just be there as a support for other people. And so it would be important for me to learn everything. So what would you suggest as a mentee I would do to take that path to become a mentor?
Follow your heart. Learn the things that you're interested in.
Okay.
Learn them well, then you can teach them to others.
So there's not like
A
a
curriculum.
foundation, you know what I mean? Like you were
I think,
talking about research, I guess,
right,
and
I would start out the easiest thing to do, because everyone's done it, is a
mhm,
case study,
case study. Okay.
and learn how to do a good case study. Maybe
Okay.
you'll do several of them, and then you get experience in writing
Hmm.
and being critiqued,
Hmm.
and you'll investigate all the nuances of both the condition that you're supporting and the essential oils and the so I would start out that way. If you've
Okay.
already familiar with that, maybe you want to try something else.
Mhm.
So it's sort of like, what do you want to do and what skills do you need to learn to do it? For instance, if you're going to write a big article,
Mhm.
you need to, let's say you're going to do a study, you need
Mhm.
to learn about study design. Is this applicable to a case study or a survey or a placebo-controlled uh, randomized study or case control study? What kind of thing is it? And what do I need to learn for that? So it's sort of a natural. What you you pick your goal, your
Mhm.
research goal first, and then learn the elements. So teaching, when I was teaching physicians how to do research, uh, I would have a like a easy an easy project. Just used to call them off the shelf projects, where I already knew the techniques and I could teach them. I knew it was going to end up one way or the other. It wasn't going to be complete failure. Uh, and then teach them how to do each step, how to carry out the research, learn the techniques, how to um, write an abstract, how to do a poster or a platform presentation, and eventually uh, how to do how to write a full article. Actually, one of the guys that I mentored, we ended up writing this article, and this world-class researcher looked at the article and he says, "You're going to have a hard time publishing that." And he said, and I said, "Well, I thought it was pretty good." And he said, "That's the point. You can publish mediocre stuff anywhere, but a good study is hard to get published because people are fighting against it." That's just part of the politics of scientific publications. So I would start with a case study, though, a really good one.
Okay, thank you so much.
You bet. Other questions?
Okay, since everyone's quiet, one more for me.
Sure.
Um, so earlier you were talking about choosing a mentor.
Yes.
How would you know, will the credentials of each mentor be on the website? Like, how would you know who to choose as a mentor?
Yeah, we'll have at least some credentials up on our mentorship page.
Okay,
What we hope to do is have a picture, and then um, what areas individuals feel the individual mentors feel comfortable in mentoring, and uh, after we review the application, we'll make a suggestion. It's not a hard and
okay,
fast rule,
okay,
um, but what at that point, what you would do is we'll give you the contact information for the mentor, and uh, we will tell the mentor that this prospective mentee is interested in learning this and that, and you guys talk it out. What's your project? What do you want to learn? How long do you think it will take? Things like that. If you don't, if you clash with your mentor, well, that's okay. We'll find someone else.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You bet.
I might just add to that, Bruce. So our goal in the beginning too is because we know our mentors and we will be looking at the application, we have a steering group and we will hopefully be able to really match you with someone who would be the most helpful for you. Eventually, once we've got the mentoring program going, because we're just getting started, then we'll have more like a rolling application option, and then there might be a lot more options for people because we'll have more pictures up and more credentials up. But in the beginning, our goal is really to help everybody find a mentor that's going to work really well with them.
Exactly.
And how long would we be paired with that mentor? Like, is there a certain amount of time that we have? I know you said until the end of 2026 is when the grant is over, but of course we want to make sure that others, are a part of the program. But what is our time frame once we get paired with a mentor?
Well, I think you should work that out with the mentor about your availability, their availability, how much time you have to put in. But some things are going to be really short. For instance, doing a case study. I think I imagine the mentor would say, "Well, let's tell me about your prospective case study. What are you doing?" And they would give it a little bit rudder guidance there, and then they said, "Well, okay, why don't you do a draft of it and send it to me, and I'll critique it and show you where to go. If you're doing a writing an abstract to typically if you want to present like a poster or a platform presentation at a conference, usually send them an abstract. So the abstract, again, they're easy to write, but not in the beginning. And so what I would do, one time I gave a class, and I said, let's write an abstract right now. Just tell me a subject, because there's certain parts of it. You have to say what the problem is, what you're going to do about the problem. That is who you recruited, who were the controls, what you did, the results, and then what is the next step. So it's really pretty easy, but it's so compact that people need a little bit of time to adjust to that. But I don't think writing an abstract should only take at the most 3 weeks. A case study is going to be reviewing it and everything, probably a month. Some of the things are going to take, like making a poster just because of delays and stuff. Well, that you should be able to do that in a month. Writing an article is a longer haul, especially if you're doing a randomized control trial. That's a big deal because you got to go through, regulatory boards and things like that. So it's going to, some of them are short and some of them are long.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Anyone else?
Yeah. Um, I am recently retired. I worked as a nurse in an academic medical center for many years and have been part of research, help doing research, but never on my own.
Right.
And one of the things I did while I was there was I was part of a work group to create a pilot program that then turned into a program for patients to receive aromatherapy. And myself and one other person in the group, we presented at a conference, but we never wrote it up. And so now that I'm retired, it's a new chapter. I have a website that I'm constructing. And when I've been attending these webinars that you're doing, it just intrigued me because one of the things I'm pretty passionate about is how to do this safely and how to talk to people about the research that's being done in aromatherapy. So it's not necessarily doing research these days. I don't think, but it's more about how can I use that platform to disseminate information and feel confident about how to analyze what I'm reading or how to talk about that program if that's appropriate. So those are not necessarily doing research, and that's why I wasn't sure if it would be appropriate to apply to be a mentee.
That's actually a good question because
Thank you.
it's adding to knowledge. It's an important thing, but it's not research per se, as I understand it.
Right. But I've always been passionate about making sure that people aren't afraid to read a research report, like how to understand what they're reading, how to know how to read it critically. And yet I'm not super confident in that because I've always had support people to help me with that. And now I'm on my own and I'm just not sure how well I would do in that
Um,
regard.
I'll tell you an excellent way to get training, and that's become a member of the research committee. Because one of the things we do is each of us review independently at least 4 research papers per year. And those reviews are actually posted on the AIA website. So
So
we've done that for at least 5. I don't. Maybe Denise knows, but at least 5 years. There and all those reviews are there, so you can look at the reviews and see how people do it. And when you begin to engage in it yourself, it's hard work because you write probably about a page and a half analysis, and so what you do is what are their aims, what what did they do, what were their results, what are the conclusions, and we have to critique them. And Marnie Raven runs that committee and runs it very well. And it's excellent practice to make you comfortable. And I often pick articles to review where I don't know the techniques. I have to look them up, and thereby I learn about these techniques. And whether it's a standard technique or someone dreamed up, and then are their conclusions supportable? And we write a critique of a couple of paragraphs at the end about every single article. So Marnie is out of the country right now, but with that interest, we would welcome you to the research committee.
Wow. Thank you. Even though I'm not feeling super confident, you would still welcome me.
That's how you get confident.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aaron, I'd like to piggyback on that too. So the Gaffasi Foundation is all about supporting not only research and research being published, but programs, aromatherapy programs that are working, especially anything related to health, right? So, and if you wanted to publish something, specifically like in our journal about what you had done, especially if you have any data, then that would absolutely qualify for this mentoring. So if you wanted to, tell us all about the program, share some data, that's really valuable information for other people. And that would be very welcome.
Okay, because that has it's kind of felt like a loose end that didn't get tied up before I retired, and the other person who was also very involved left the job for another job. So it's just this loose end, and it's near and dear to me because initially what had happened was there was a grant for someone to just offer aromatherapy in the hospital. And I immediately almost just said, no, let's use this grant to teach the nurses how to do this because the grant's going to run out. I'm going to be gone, and I always felt like we need a program. And I'm sure there's lessons that will be helpful for other people who are trying to do the same thing in maybe writing this up.
Absolutely. And something that catches my interest, I'll delve into it and maybe write an article. For instance, we hear all this stuff about sustainable aromatherapy. Well, I didn't know what that was. What does that mean? And so I got into it and I interviewed a guy who does amazing sustainable aromatherapy, where he uses it as a vehicle for community building. Amazing. And so, gosh, that was just like handed to me on the platter, and I wrote up an article, and it's going to be published this month. And I met some just amazing people. So I think that's the best way to really learn something. If something is interesting to you, learn about it and write an article for all of us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Someone else. I think there was somebody else who was interested. Jane, maybe it was you? Looked like you were about to maybe say something.
Oops.
Oh, you're
I
on mute.
was, but then I became very shy because I am I am the least qualified in this group. I'm absolutely sure I don't even have to ask because where do I start? I also recently retired and I was in Europe a couple of months ago. I'm from US, but originally I grew up in Ukraine. So I was in Europe and my doctor, MD, knowing all my medical history, very forcefully, not in a good way, forcefully suggested that I look into aromatherapy for a lot of issues that I have. And I am always looking for holistic solutions to all my problems. And I've done Ayurveda, acupuncture, you name it, I've tried it. And I have no idea how living here for almost 40 years, I've never known what aromatherapy can do for you. I always felt that it was like just good smelling oils that improve your mood, but I had no idea how powerful they are. So I'm software engineer, but by training, and I always dig very deep when I try to do something. So I actually enrolled in a very high quality and very complex course right now for aromatherapy. It's I'm scared to say it's level 3 course, but I know what modules I really want to study, and that's why I enrolled in that course. I spent the last 2 months probably on the internet, consistently day in and day out, learning as much as I can about aromatherapy and about different schools and what they can offer. And obviously, I came to your website and learned about the webinars that you run. And this one, I just wanted to sit and listen on. I knew that I'm not qualified to be a mentee, but I just wanted to know what it's all about, what you do. And the question that I had, I am going to do the case studies eventually. I'm not there yet. I just started the course. But I know I am very good at research and very good at data analysis. I've done it like all my career. I was working with databases, writing all kinds of algorithms and all of that. And so this topic interested me. And that's why I kind of signed up for this webinar. And as I'm listening, I'm just thinking, how can I be of help? Like, what can I do even if it's not for me? I actually started this course just to learn how to safely and effectively use aromatherapy for me, my friends, my family, but not as a business. But who knows how it will develop in the future. But right now I'm just thinking, like, even though I don't have all the time in the world, maybe I can be of help and learn something as I'm helping to do what you guys need to do.
Oh, that's great, and I really like that you're starting out with safety first.
Exactly. You know how I started with safety? On the suggestion of, I wouldn't name the company that I purchased initially my essential oils from. I didn't realize how internal use has to be so carefully considered. And I just tried, don't laugh, I tried different oils just like under the tongue, and one of them was oregano. And after that, I decided to enroll in a course.
Right. Yeah, you received a lesson there.
Yeah, fortunately, I was not very aggressively testing it, but that was enough for me to understand that I have no idea what I'm doing and I need to do it on a much deeper level.
Yes, I agree. We, all the professional aromatherapists, have seen people who used essential oils unsafely and got burned or worse.
Yes.
So I applaud you for that. If you know a lot about working with data sets and stuff, we're going to try to enlist you as a speaker.
As a speaker, no,
Yes.
probably not as a speaker. I am actually very good at being a mentor and a teacher for beekeeping. I've been doing it for 10 years, but that topic I know in and out, so I can be a speaker on that one.
Okay.
I'm actually teaching in a bee school, but about teaching technical stuff, like I have to think about.
Okay.
I'm better at doing than at teaching. I also have a complex about English as a second language kind of thing. So
Your English is very good.
thank you.
Very good. Actually, I've been to Lviv myself to a
Lviv,
scientific
Lviv.
conference. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like Western Ukraine, yes.
Yeah. And as you progress through when you find the school
I
that,
did find this school.
oh, excellent.
I took a course. I already enrolled with this school. of aromatic studies with Jade Schutz.
Jade Schutz. Oh, she's quite a scholar.
Yeah,
I've taken a lot of her courses,
I love her.
and she's very well respected.
Yes.
So you'll learn a lot from Jade. And one of the things, as you pursue certification, you'll have to do is a number of case studies.
Yep, 12, I think 12 or 14.
And I think probably every professional aromatherapist will agree with this. Some of the cases work out well and some don't. But those ones that work out really well, you learn something. Well, you learn something from all of
More.
them.
You learn more than the ones that turn out right.
And that could be the basis of a case study.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I am going to really plow through, like I am set
Excellent.
on, yeah. Mhm.
Excellent. Yeah, Jade's an excellent teacher.
Yes. I've listened to a lot of videos from her, and I just absolutely love how she's teaching and what she's teaching.
Super. Good. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you. So keep me in mind if you need any help
Okay.
with data.
I have a question now.
We actually we're looking for people to like data management systems, reference management systems. I know how to crunch numbers, but I don't know anything about those systems. So, and we're looking for people who can teach that.
Okay, so I worked with databases and I also work with Salesforce, which is also a software that supports the data analysis and data organization. So
super.
Mhm.
We're going to come and knock on your door.
Okay. Okay.
I have a
Sounds
question.
good.
I have been in the world of aromatherapy now for 6 years. I have a PhD in psychology, and I am a black belt, Six Sigma black belt in statistical process control. So I'm familiar with research, and I love research. And I also love to teach. And I've written literally millions of dollars worth of grants that were accepted. Very diverse background. However, is what I'm finding, at least in my community, is that people are not very receptive to aromatherapy. They people come to me mostly on an individual basis, but when you approach like a community center or somewhere you would like to even just teach generalities or understanding and safety, that's a big one for me also. I've taken many courses with the Tisserand Institute, and I get turned down all the time saying it's dangerous, people have allergies. And so being able to write something like a very in-depth article that can be either in our newspaper, our local journals around here. I live in Tucson, Arizona, which you would think, with Andrew Weil and the U of A would be very,
Right. Yeah.
open-minded.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not. So that would be a huge interest on how to take all the information that I can about the safety and the benefits of aromatherapy and bring it more to the community.
I think that is a very worthy goal. And I think a lot of people start out thinking that aromatherapy is just some sort of woo-woo nonsense to make your bath smell good.
Right.
But it is aromatherapy allows you to construct products that you can't get at the drugstore.
Absolutely.
And you can't get from any doctor.
Absolutely.
And I think that has to go back to your intention. What it is a way to individualize medicine. Well, I guess we're not supposed to say medicine. Individualize support for conditions that no one else can do. So I think some of that, what you're talking about, an article like that would be very, very valuable. First, to spread the word, and detractors either say it's dangerous or it's no good. And I think you could dispel both of those illusions. Now, there are some very, very good safety courses out there. One of the things that you may have Tisserand's essential oil safety.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And he gives a in-depth course on safety. Yes, exactly. In-depth course on safety, which a lot of people have taken and say is beyond excellent. So I think that's an excellent goal to dispel some of the apprehensions and falsehoods about aromatherapy.
And there's a lot of dangerous things out there.
Yes.
That people do not understand that would harm them more.
Yes.
And, buying a $1 bottle of lavender at the dollar store. And it's exactly. And being able to demonstrate that information in a very strong article that people can understand and think about what is it they're using, what they're doing. And Jane was saying about sticking the oregano under your tongue. There's lots of people that are, and I know what organization you're talking about. There's a lot of people who are getting very, very bad information, dangerous information, and that faults then all of us. That it's, well, you're an aromatherapist, that's a bunch of garbage because, Jane stuck it under her tongue and it burned. And I think that would be a phenomenal project to take on. And I am in a very large, obviously Tucson's a large community, and be able to really back that up with the research.
Yeah, there are less studies, hardcore scientific studies about essential oils because they contain 80 to 120 components. But each of those components has been studied big time. So there are certain databases that you can go and you can look up what components are bactericidal against Pseudomonas or something like that. And you can find them, and then you can figure out where those components that you want to use, what essential oils they're in.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do this very, very methodically. I mean, this is the component blending.
I have I don't want to say the organization, but I have 3 different ones that I subscribe to.
Okay, great.
To look at all the different components and the comparison charts and all the different constituents and how much monoterpenes or sesquiterpenes are in it or whatever. And I don't want to say the right word is not dummy it down for the community, but be able to have scientific evidence that can be brought to the general population to open their minds, their hearts, their spirits to the
and keep them safe.
And keep them safe to the amazing work that we all do.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm behind that 100%. And the other thing is because you want to change people's minds.
Yes.
So you want to publish in somewhere that would be widely read.
Okay. I'll find that place.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But I would love to have a mentor to support me through that journey of
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
all the naysayers.
Right. And then there's other people from some of the MLM industry that say, you know, this is essential oils are fine to put in your ear, put in your eye, snort, just crazy stuff like that, that we
Yeah.
know is dangerous.
Yeah.
And so it can be used very safely and very effectively, but you have to know what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
Yeah, for a few of you that have mentioned you're interested in writing, I did share our journal author guidelines. So we've got really good guidelines on both how to publish a case study as well as how to just write an article if it's not actually a case study. So so check your chat and it'll be in there if you've mentioned that you're interested in publishing. And I guess I could actually put it here because I bet there's more than one of you. And it doesn't hurt to look ahead. Even if you're doing case studies, it's worth it to look at the writing guidelines and what our case study guidelines are as you're collecting your information. So you make sure that you have all the information you need to do it in a really in a smart way, so you have all the information ahead before you're ready to jump into publishing. I did put a couple other links in here. So I have again our email, Research Academy at Alliance Aromatherapist. So it's research.academy at alliance-aromatherapist.org. And so you can email us with more questions if you have that. Also, I have our Research Academy link here. We would love all of you to sign up for the Research Academy. And then what you can do is you'll have access to all the webinars we've done, all our future webinars. We're also creating a YouTube station. And so before long, we're going to have that up and running so people can watch us on YouTube too. And so, I can tell we have a lot of people that have very similar minds here. So we'll count on you all to help share our information as we're moving forward. All right, any other questions for Bruce? This has been great. So many great questions. Okay.
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say I'm sorry because I'm PST with the Pacific and I thought it was 5. So I'm really sorry to have missed this. But so far what I heard was wonderful. So thank you.
Good. So we will be branding this. It'll be in the Research Academy before long. So you definitely can see that. She's pretty quick at getting those up there. And so don't worry if you came in late. You definitely get to watch this in its entirety.
And eventually it'll be on YouTube.
That's right. That's right. And I see a lot of you have already shared your email with us, which is awesome. I took note of all of those, and we're excited to have so many people interested in our mentoring program. We really want this to be successful for everybody we're mentoring, and also just for our greater community. The more we can share what we're doing, the more credible the whole industry is going to be viewed. And so that's really the goal of AIA, is to do things safely, effectively, and tell everybody about it. And that's what Gattaface Foundation is hoping as well. So again, I just want to thank everybody for being here. Oh, Mimi's got a question.
Yeah, I just kind of got confused because if you are a member of AIA, do you also have to sign separately for the Research Academy? It's not automatic?
No.
Oh.
No, however, it appears in the AIA classroom. It's in the members access. It's that red box when you go in there. But when you're in the AIA classroom, you have to log in again. You have to log in twice it's just the way our website works. So if it seems like it's not working, feel free to contact us. But you should be able to definitely get to it if you're already an AIA member. Yes.
All right.
Another thing I did too is the database came up, a research database, when Bruce was talking about the articles that have been reviewed. So if you are an AIA member, the link is up a little further and you can see database in the link, and that'll take you to the different reviews of articles they've done so far. And I think that's really interesting too. And we've got all our old journals in there. So if you're thinking you want to write either an article or you want to publish a case study, go and look back at some of our journals and see what's already in there. And that'll give you a sense for, how people are currently publishing and a sense going forward. You might have a different style. That's totally fine. But you'll at least get to see what other people have done so far. Yeah, and Bruce helped us get into the Library of Congress, and eventually our goal is to maybe become peer reviewed and eventually have our work in PubMed. So we are working very hard to really get this industry going and help our community, because we all know aromatherapy works. We want everyone to feel more confident about that.
Amen.
Yeah. All right. So again, if you want to be mentored and you haven't already given us your email, contact us at research.academy@alliance-aromatherapist.org, and we will follow up with you as soon as we've got that application done. So thanks again for attending, and we really appreciate your support.
Indeed. And the great questions.
Yes, and the great questions.
Oh,
That wraps up today's session. Thanks for tuning into the AIA Research Academy. This academy exists thanks to the generous support of the Gafase Foundation and is here to make aromatherapy research fun, accessible, and relevant. Our mission is simple yet powerful: to educate, inspire, and connect a global community committed to advancing the science of aromatherapy. We envision a future where research is not just part of the conversation, but the culture. The best part? Access is completely free. Simply sign up through the link in the description box below. And if you're an AIA member, the Academy is already part of your member benefits, putting powerful resources right at your fingertips. If you're passionate about deepening your understanding of aromatherapy through research, you're in the right place. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay connected with our latest sessions. We appreciate your curiosity, your time, and your commitment to learning.